Hey, g'day. It's VK3 Roger Mike, and I've just got a couple of clues for you guys that are flying these things and these things. I suggest you put LED lighting on your machines at the front of your unit, so you can actually see which way it's flying. All my quadcopters have got LED lighting on the front of each one, like that one there, and this one here. See, got the flashing lights at the front, underneath, strapped underneath the carriage of the quadcopter. This is a very important thing to know which way your quadcopter is flying, because if it gets away in the distance and you you can't see where you're going, you don't know which way it's going unless you've got auto return, return to base, GPS tracking, and you can press the come home to base function. Unless you've got that with the cheap quadcopters, you basically will lose it somewhere. Now, my big Quattro X here, my big Quattro X copter with the camera underneath and all that, it's got you got the same thing. We'll here we go. Now look, it's got lights on the legs, lights underneath there, you see, all over the front of it. So when you turn it around that way, of course, you can't see where you're going, can you? But when it's pointing towards you, look, mate, it's blinding. It's absolutely bloody blinding. It's very bright at the front there. So you know, flying a copter without a light on the front, basically, you're asking to lose it. All my quadcopters have got lights on the front, like this one here, like you know, just an El Cheapo, you know, just a El Cheapo, or even a helicopter. I still put lights on helicopter. My huge Wakira single blade helicopter, my really big one, has got lights in the front to enable me to actually see which way it is flowing. And flowing. Have another drink, Randall. But you know, another one up here is I got this is my other one, which has got no legs on it. It's got no legs at all. It's just a bloody it's got short legs, and basically it's the same thing. You see, it's got the, oh, look how bright that is. Now that's coming out, when that's coming out of the sky towards you like that, like it's up about 100 feet or so, or 100 feet away from you. There's no way you can see it's going the wrong way. If it's going the wrong way, you're turning it around and the light's shining in your eyes. There's no way you could lose it that way. Mind you, this has got GPS. It's got GPS tracking, and it's also got return home to base, and if the batteries run low, below a certain level, just put that there. If the batteries drop below a certain level, which is dangerous, the quadcopter will return to base on its own. It'll actually say auto return base and come back. But not all the cheap copters have got that function. So I strongly recommend that, yeah, if you're playing with toys, there's generally an extra port underneath them. There's an extra port underneath where you can have a camera plugged in. If you're not using your camera function of your quadcopter, you plug your LED lighting into that. It's generally about 5 volts, about 3.6 to 5 volts output from your camera. It runs your camera. If you've got a 7.4 volt one, what's that bloody noise? Oh, didn't know that was coming through. Sounds like a repeater or a CW. On the armature band, yeah. If you have 7.4 volts, you have to put two 3.6 volt LEDs in series and put a silicon diode between the centre legs back to the power supply, and make sure that you're only getting 3 point something volts, 3.2 volts, 3.3 volts on each LED. Otherwise you'll blow them up. So you need to put a diode in there which will drop at 0.6 of a volt on 3.7, and if you're running 7.4 volt lithium ion batteries, you have to stack the legs across each one of the like the MJX 600, the hexacopter. Here you've got I've got two LEDs side by side. See, I've got two LEDs there side by side. I know it's a bit hard to see with that with the lights on. It's bloody bright as. So you've got two LEDs there connected to the charging plug. The charging plug plugs in there to light the LEDs up from the battery supply, independent of the copter. In other words, it plugs in, that's a charging plug which actually feeds the LEDs, and your other power plug for your LiPo battery is going into the actual copter. So you're actually using your charging plug as a supply for the LEDs. You know, as soon as you plug them in, they light up. See? Perfect. And you've got that LED diode. That diode there is a silicon diode in there between the center pin and the two diodes on the negative side. So you're getting 0.6 of a volt drop from 7.4 on each one, dropping it down for the diodes through the LEDs to give it a 0.6 of a volt drop. So you're not overdriving your LEDs. If you overdrive them, you'll blow them and they'll die. So you make sure you put a 0.6 volt diode in there, or even you can even put two diodes in series if you're really worried. You're only going to lose 0.6 of a volt per a diode. So that's a safer way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. All right, that's enough tips for me for the quadcopters, but that's a very important thing to know which way your quadcopter is flying. If it turns around on you and you don't see where it's going, you're going to lose it, unless you've got return to home function with GPS and such like. So you will lose it. I know people have lost them hand over fist over the roofs of houses and across the football fields, and I know a guy lost 2 in a week because he didn't know which way it was going. But with the LEDs shining in your eyes, you say, oh, that's the front part of the copter coming towards me. I know what I'm doing now. And you can bring it home that way, easy. If you can't see which way it's going, you're going to lose it. Everybody loses quadcopter. I've seen people lose $5,000 quadcopters with cameras and everything. Just lost it. Bought it, and within a week lost the whole thing, and they've just done their $5,000 or $2,000 or whatever they spent. If you go to DJI Phantom, which you spent $1,200 on, okay, they return home automatically. That's providing there's no trees in the way and there's no other obstructions in the way between you and the quadcopter. If there's something in the way, it will hit that obstruction. There's no way it's going to get through it. It just says, I want to return home. That's the way I want to go, and I'll go that way. If there's a tree in the way or there's a building in the way, it'll go straight into that building. So, you know, it's all right to say return home's good, but if there's something between you and the copter, you're going to destroy the copter, you're going to lose it. So that's common sense, you know. All right, thanks for that. This is VK3 Roger Mike for the Sherbrooke Community Radio Club Special Events Group, which we call ourselves because we fly a lot of radio controlled equipment in the skies, and we get together on certain days and we get together and we fly our machines and have a bit of fun. That's what the hobby's all about. Okay, bye for now.